Salutations, my fellow YouTube brothers and sisters, and welcome back to one of my Bleach chat reviews. Now, I apologize for not being able to make videos during the past weeks when these Bleach chapters were coming out. Now, like I said in my last video, that I was going to try to keep up with this, this constant flow of making videos for you guys each and every week. Well, I lied, and I apologize for that. It's not because I do not want to make these videos for you guys. It's just times where I have work to do and things like that, or there are even some times in which I just don't feel like doing these videos and just want to relax and do something else. But that's just how I do things. I'm sorry for that, but at one point I did used to keep up constantly with these YouTube videos. Just like how Taken 101, and how he's keeping up with his videos, or like the Elite Ace and such. There were times I used to do that, but I stopped doing that, and now I just basically do videos whenever I feel like it, basically. But I'm gonna try to be more flexible with you guys and try to make these videos whenever I feel like it, or whenever I need to do it. So I'll try to work with you guys, or you work with me, things like this. So I'll see what I can do. But enough of that. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's chapter as much as I did. So without further ado, let's get into this review. Now, this is Bleach chapter number 571, entitled "A Devilish Perspective," I believe. Now, the chapter basically starts off where Isane basically is looking at Kusajishi, and she runs over to her, stating that she's bleeding and that she's concerned about her, as to what happened. Did she like hit something, or ran into something or whatnot? And Kusajishi basically just like looking down, just basically like contemplating in her mind, trying to figure out what happened. Like, she knew she hit him, but then afterwards she didn't know what happened. And that's when the Stern Ritter, he revealed himself in front of them too, and I think he said something like that's right, you don't remember as to what happened and whatnot. And he said what he said. Oh yeah, and that's when I believe that's when Isane, they both look at him, and that's when Isane said like, are you the Stern Ritter? And he said, yes, I'm Stern Ritter V. Guinao Lee, the Vanishing Point Quincy. And he explains the reason behind his abilities, that he can make himself be visible, and then he disappear, leaving behind an illusion, and he can erase his whole image from their minds, and they don't basically recall. They can't be able to recall as to what happened basically after the incident of him doing that. And he basically got to keep reintroducing himself to them over and over again. And, it's like to him like a little sick game. So he basically likes to do that. And he said you cannot see. I think he said you cannot see, feel him, or even remember him. That's his whole point of his ability. And while this is going on, and Kusajishi, she just had like this instinctive idea to just want to hit things, and he basically just got to keep making himself disappear from their presence all the time. And that's when he finally reveals his abilities in 3 versions. He said the first version is when his shape disappears, and the second version, he said, that's when his whole existence disappears basically. And while this is going on, he just keep explaining it, while Kusajishi just want to hit him every time he reveals himself. And he also states that he can be able to jump from the second version, and go back to the first version. Just like he can make himself become invisible, and just like strike him whenever he feels like it. Just strike her, whenever he feels like it and whatnot. Just like torment them. And what Kusajishi basically kept hitting was an illusion of himself every time he goes from 1 to 2 in the versions. So that's why she always keep thinking that she's hitting him, but in the end, she doesn't really feels him. And that's when he reveals the third version, that he removes his whole image from their mind, and that they have no recollection as to who he is. So like I said before, he has to keep reintroducing himself to them over and over again. So yeah, but at one point, he made himself visible, and where Kusajishi, she saw him, and then instinctively, hit him. Was trying to hit him. Wait, I'll go back. I missed one point. It was at one at one part where he actually was invisible, but he ended up cutting her, but she had spotted him and then instinctively just like rushed in and tried to hit him. But at one point, I think she actually grazed him a bit because once he went from version 1 to version 2, um, he was like staying back and he had like a little bit of blood on his cheek when it had happened when she hit him, and he had to back up and think for a while, like, why is this girl keep instinctively hitting me? Like, why does she keep doing this despite the fact that he always got to keep reintroducing himself over and over again? She just think like, oh, there's someone, bam, I gotta hit him. That's just her idea of whenever she want to fight people and things like that. But of course you get that from Kenpachi, obviously, after all these years. And he basically just like remaining invisible and just like contemplating this idea in his mind and stating that the only reason why she would even do this is basically giving her appearance, based off of her hairstyle, being pink. He called like her hair like a funky hairstyle. And then he also said like based off her countenance, like she got like a monkey expression on her face that makes her a little bit wild. And he was hoping that he could be able to, take her down without that wildness being able to fully come out, and then he'd be at that she'd be at the upper hand and he'd be at the lower bottom hand, things it's something in a situation like that. But while that was going on, Lieutenant Kotetsu, she had to get on to Kusujishi saying that you shouldn't always hit people whether or not if they're good or bad. If you meet them for the first time, your instinct should not be able to always hit people. And while they was just arguing back and forth, while she was arguing to her, that one Stern Ritter was just like in the shadows, commentating as to what she was trying to say. Like he was basically agreeing with Misane, and he was trying to get a response from Kusujishi when it was happening. And once he heard the response when she said she doesn't know why she does this, he got a little pissed off. Said, how come? He said, what do you mean that you don't know why you do this? Things like that. And she said it's more like a rustle. And he said, like, what the hell? Like, what the hell does that mean? That doesn't really mean anything as to why you're hitting people instinctively and things like that. But let's see. Basically, like I said, he was arguing back and forth about that, and then that's when Isane, she'll wonder like, what does she mean by like a rustle? Was it like a shiver or whatnot? And while they was talking, that's when Kusujishi should have reaching like into like some kind of like cover, and she finally pulled out her Zanpakuto, and she was explaining to her like, no, she'll basically explain to her, say, no, it doesn't really mean like a shiver or whatnot. It basically means something like hot or cold, whatnot. However, she visualized us that towards that meaning. And she also stated that there were times when she was with Kenpachi that whenever he confronted his assailant, that he always had this instinction to just want to slice them down, to slice people down. That's just his idea of whenever he sees a very compatible opponent and just want to fight them. And she also stated that since he's not here, since he's not present within the within where they at, and that he really wouldn't mind if she were to use her Zanpakuto against that Star Knight, against that Quincy. And while all this was happening, that's when that Quincy, he finally like take out a little knife, and he was really about to like stab her, and like said, I'm going to kill her as quickly as possible before she can just instinctively hit me again and whatnot. And he basically just like charged at her. I think he actually like jabbed her a bit with a knife, and that's when she looked, like she heard him and turned around, and she pulled out her Zanpakuto and like slashed him. And he told her, like he said, it won't work because your sword would be able to hit me. But that's when he looked and he felt that his nose, the bridge of his nose got cut. You see blood come out, and that's when he was thinking like, wait a minute, your sword, it didn't hit me. Like, why am I bleeding if you can't be able to hit me with your sword? And it was true though. She said, yeah, it was true that my Zanpakuto didn't hit you, but something else basically hit you. I think she said like it was, she phrased it in a certain sense like something else hit him, and that's when he's like, what? He was like it's like flabbergasted, so why is this scene happening? And then that's when she finally explained it, saying that her Zanpakuto is like a copycat, that it basically imitates what she does. Like there's a before and a behind when it comes to her attack. So it doesn't matter if she misses. It doesn't matter if she misses her opponent. It's still going to hit that person. It doesn't matter. So it's to make them think that she missed, but they actually get hit. So, and then that's when she finally reveals the name of her Zanpakuto, her Shikai. I think it's correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Senpou. I think it's Sunpou Kinju, I believe. And that's when we finally get to see her Shikai. After all this time, she always keep in like episodes, Bleach episodes and like manga chapters. We always see her running with her Zanpakuto, the little wheels on the back end of sheath. She's like running around, hitching the ride on Kenny, saying, "Yeah, let's do this" and whatnot. So finally we really get to see her Shikai, and it's pretty cool. And as you see, there's like two demons like in a bag. One got like a little, I think I would say like a white mask or like a face, but it's like all shrouded in like black. He's holding his little sword, and you see the other demon, which is like all you see is like little white eyes. His whole body is white, but you see like underneath it like black, but like two white eyes. And that's when I went Quincy. He was like he was all startled, like what is this ability? And next on the next panel down, you just see Kusajishi just like slashing down, and you see the other two, her other spirits, her Shikai, doing the exact same thing, like just copying her image. And I think it said like down in a little scripture below, it said like a triple attack, like she's gonna do some damage to this Quincy, knowing as to what her Shikai can do. And basically that was the end of the chapter. So it was a pretty good way to end the chapter. But so yeah, let's go ahead and get into the discussion real quick. Overall, pretty moderate chapter. It's pretty decent, I like it. Finally get revealed, like I said, Kusajishi's Shikai. I mean, people who are fans of Kusajishi, due to her personality and things like that, I know they've been waiting to want to see her Shikai, and then finally Kubo, he reveals her Shikai. Like, I'm happy for that. So, it's pretty cool. We get to see it. Since this is the last arc, Kubo got to go ahead and reveal everyone's Shikai and Bankai, so, obviously it's going to happen, so that was pretty cool. It'd be pretty messed up if he ended it, if he decided to end the, entire series without us being able to see people's Shikai and Bankai, obviously that'd be pretty messed up if Kubo did that, but, Kubo won't do nothing, so, idiotic, so, we all trust him. I like him for his work, things like that, so. But yeah, like I said, it's pretty cool to get to see her Shikai and whatnot, and like I said, meanwhile, I don't know what Isane gonna do. I guess she's gonna sit back, it's like cheer on, Kusajishi, or just go back over and heal up Rose and Kensei, I really think, while all this was going on, while she was sitting there talking to Kusajishi, and while all this was happening, I think she was still capable of healing them, even like not being over there physically and healing them, sitting down and healing them or whatnot. So I guess they're still being healed, even though she's not over there. So she's taking care of them. They should be up and at them within about, I don't know, a couple of chapters later, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they took some serious damage, so hopefully we'll see them in action again. So what else? Like I said, that one Stern Ritter, man, he is freaky as hell. Kusajishi gonna fuck him up pretty bad. So hopefully, he just be done with him as quickly as possible, so we can move on to the next scene. See a very cool Quincy. We get to see. I really want to see Basby again. I don't know where he at, but he's hiding out somewhere. So I hope we get to see him again. Hopefully. So, that's pretty much it of the chapter. Like I said, pretty good chapter. I ain't hating on it. I'm not hating and say it sucked or whatnot. I love it. I love all the chapters, so it's pretty good. Pretty good. You guys probably thought it was probably like moderate and whatnot, but whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Hope next week's chapter is going to be pretty good. It finishes up from this point on and goes on to something pretty cool. Like another scene going on, things like that. So hopefully this little scenario ends as fast as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say for now, guys. Leave your comments down below, in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and concerns about this chapter and some predictions for next week's chapter and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. So you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you know, I'm gonna try to make it, you know, like I said, I'm gonna try to be flexible with you guys, with me and my video creations and whatnot. So I'll try to do the best I can. So yeah, like I said, that's all I gotta say for now, guys. Until next time, you know, see you later.